All right, guys, I got to tell a story now, and I want you to tell me, am I a total jackwagon?
Yes.
I don't know that we need to waste airtime going over a story when we know the answer.
Of course you did something jackwagon-ish.
Let me tell you what happened. So we stayed at a cool little. It's kind of a boutique hotel. They've got like 117 rooms, 120 rooms.
What's it called?
I don't want to give out the name of the.
Is it the Hudson?
What?
He doesn't want to give out the name, Roxanne. Look at that.
It's not the Hudson or whatever. No. So this little hotel, it's near Julian's dorm, and we've stayed there multiple times.
It's called the Cecil Inn.
Listen, we like the place.
That's where the murders happen.
Is it the Le Méridien?
No, it's not. That's more in Midtown. No. All right, Roxanne, stop guessing all the hotels in New York. Stop guessing hotels in New York.
What's the Dream? It's the Dream. I knew it.
It's not the Dream. All right, so we like this hotel. What are you giving me a look for, Fester?
Just amazed at how many boutique hotels Roxanne can just rattle off the top of her head.
She's
True.
online.
No. I've stayed at all those that I just named.
Well, excuse us.
One upper Roxanne comes out.
I think I haven't
again.
stayed at boutique hotels in NYC.
All right. Now, this particular small hotel is near Julian's dorm. We like it. We can walk to his dorm. It's only a couple of blocks away. So we've stayed at this place numerous times. We like it. Here's the deal. We were going out to dinner, and this was Saturday night. We're going out to dinner. Scored another great reservation at Una Pizza Napolitana, which is it's a top-notch Neapolitan, Napoli-style, real proper Neapolitan pizza. And scored another reservation. It's very tough. They're only open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and it's just tough to get a res there. And, in fact, that was the pizza shop that was featured a couple of times in Billions, the TV show. Mm-hmm. And they really bring it. It's really a phenomenal. It's some of the best Neapolitan pizza that I've had. It's probably my top place in the United States. And I think they beat most Italy pizza shops. So I think the guy's name is Anthony Mangieri, but the guy's amazing, just incredible. So we have a reservation at 7:45 on Saturday night for dinner there. And then we were out and about running around the city, and Michelle said, hey, can you go down to the bar and can you grab me an old-fashioned? And I'm like, sure. So I go down to the bar. There's a little restaurant and a bar and it's kind of rocking. This place is busy.
Ooh.
Right? This is a rocking little bar. And it's not a well-known hotel, but it's a boutique place, and they've got a bar. So I go downstairs after we spent most of the day walking around the city, and I go to the bar and I say, "Can I get an old-fashioned?" And I said, "What do you use in your old-fashioned?" And they've got like the well drinks. They've got he says Old Forester. I'm like, you know what? Old Forester, I think it's like the oldest Kentucky bourbon, actually. And Old Forester, it's decent stuff. It's not top shelf, but it depends. They do, but I don't want to get too much into the weeds with bourbon. But I said, all right. So the guy proceeds to put ice in a glass. So am I the jackwagon here? The guy puts ice in the glass and then just pulls the handle on the Old Forester on tap and fills the glass, and then proceeds just to slice an orange peel and drop it in the glass. And I'm watching the guy, and I'm like, I ordered an old-fashioned. This is what I said. And he said, this is an old-fashioned. I said, where are the bitters? Where's the simple syrup?
Oh, God.
You got to mix it in a beaker, or, you got to do it right. And he said, are you telling me how to make an old-fashioned? I'm like, yes. You just put bourbon on ice in a glass, you dropped in an orange peel, and you're calling that an old-fashioned?
If you asked for bourbon on the rocks with a little orange,
that's what he did. That's what he did. He just did bourbon on the rocks. An old-fashioned is simple syrup, so sugar. It's the bourbon. Also, I love making old-fashions with rye. It gets better. So the guy, Fester, he just put bourbon on the rocks and put an orange peel in and said it's an old-fashioned. I'm like, no, it's not. I said, where's the simple syrup? The sugar water, essentially. A little bit of that. and then you put in some bitters, whether it's Regan's or Angostura, or you got to put bitters. That's how you make it old-fashioned, and you stir it vigorously. You get a total blend, and then you pour it. And they just had little bitty cubes. A proper old-fashioned ought to be just one big
one.
Yeah, one big giant cube.
I like a big round cube too, like a ball.
Round balls, cubes, a cube, absolutely.
When it comes to cold balls,
Yes, Roxanne loves.
Connoisseur.
Yeah, exactly. So
Connoisseur.
I say to the guy, "Where are these elements that you've left out of the old-fashioned?" And he says to me, "Are you going to tell me how to make an old-fashioned?" I said, "Yes." I said, "That is." Hold on, Froggy, what?
You're just so annoying. Just take the drink.
No,
What are you doing?
dude. It is. Hold, Roxanne, am I wrong?
Maybe it was a premix.
It's not a premix. It was only Old Forester.
Yeah, you know what? I was so anticipating being against you on this edition of Am I the Jackwagon? I was going to say, yes, you are the Jackwagon. I was getting ready. But I have to agree with you.
Yes!
I would have said the same thing. I would have been like, I just curious, is that an old-fashioned or is that just bourbon on the...
it's a new
Bourbon
fashion.
on the rocks. So listen,
Yeah.
I am usually right with my stories. All right, but wait a minute. It gets better. So,
It's not important to be right all the time, okay? Just FYI.
Listen to this. The guy flips out on me. So I'm like, dude, that's not an old-fashioned. There are no bitters. There's no simple syrup. You didn't stir it. I don't see a cherry, a Luxardo cherry, on a stick or whatever. This was a half-assed BS old-fashioned. And, I mean, what did this guy think that if I'm not going to be able to tell? Because I'm going to take a sip before I give it to Michelle. I'm watching the guy completely half-ass an old-fashioned, and then we get into a fight over it. He's like, "Are you going to tell me how to make an old-fashioned?" I'm like, "Yes, I am. That's not an old-fashioned." Listen to what the guy does.
What?
The guy takes the glass, throws it into the sink, behind the bar, takes the whole glass, chucks it into the sink, and he said, "Fine, I'll make you an old-fashioned." Breaks the glass. You can hear the glass shatter. I mean, all because the guy didn't. I mean,
He had an old-fashioned temper tantrum.
He did. I mean, I'm not the jackwagon here.
No.
This guy is out of control. So he throws the glass into the sink, breaks the glass, and he said, "Fine, I'll make you an old-fashioned." Like, that's all I asked for in the first place was an old-fashioned.
You're going to sneak just a whiskey by you or bourbon by you?
Make a proper old-fashioned. At that point, do you think for 1 minute I want this guy to make a drink for me?
Yeah,
No.
no way.
Do you think I'm going to give a drink to Michelle that this guy's going to make now? Yeah. I did like a dealer walking away from the blackjack table.
Yeah.
I did, my hands, and
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm out. I'm
right.
like, dude, forget it.
You might put a little sprinkle of cyanide
Yeah,
in
right.
there or something.
Exactly.
Here's some
So,
night-night pills with your old-fashioned.
again, am I the jackwagon here? No! Froggy, tell me I'm a jackwagon.
You should have ordered. There's one drink that you should always order that they're never going to mess up.
Yeah.
And it's a red snapper or
Or you get a kamikaze.
or
Or
a
Long
Long
Island
Island iced tea, black Russian fuzzy navel, and a stags on the beach, margarita, Bloody Mary, slow gin fizz. Learn to make them all on the rocks with a twist. There's a school to attend, and I highly recommend you go 1-800-BARTEND. Was it?
That's probably where he went.
Was it that?
That's where he didn't
That's
go.
where he didn't go, because he would know how to make an old-fashioned if he went to 1-800.
1-800-BARTEND.
All right, folks, you heard the story. Do we have any bartenders listening? You just heard the story.
He's a lazy bartender.
All right, fire up the phones. Let's go. If there are any bartenders listening or any listeners that know what a good old-fashioned is, even a lousy old-fashioned, at least make an attempt to use the right ingredients, all right? All right, any bartenders listening, anyone in the restaurant business listening, I mean, what is your reaction to my story? Then the guy freaks out and throws the glass? I'm sorry to bother you. I asked for an old-fashioned. It's a staple. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's how you call in right now. I'd love your reaction. First of all, am I a jackwagon because of what happened? I'm not.
I mean, two things can be true at the same
No,
time.
I'm not a jackwagon. All right, 800-990-1047. If you're a bartender or listen, if you're just a listener that just wants to comment after hearing my story, 800-990-1047. What is your reaction to what I just told? All right, lines are ringing. Andrew screening calls. We'll grab calls here in just a second. All right, let me grab phone calls here. Am I a jackwagon? 800, and because of the story I just told. That's not a generic question.
Yeah, right.
All right, 800-990-1047. Leslie in Tampa, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Leslie.
Good morning.
Are you a male? You're a male, Leslie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like Leslie Nielsen, one of the greatest of all time.
That's the one I have to explain to people.
Yeah,
when they say
the only Nielsen I like. All right, go ahead.
So, no, you're not a jackwagon. You take a glass, you put in a cherry, you put in an orange, throw in the bitters, a little club soda, you muddle it up.
Yeah.
And that's the way you make tips. Because people that
What was this guy thinking, just putting Old Forester on ice and then like trying to shave off an orange peel and saying it's an old-fashioned with no simple syrup, no bitters? What the hell was this guy's problem?
He wasn't thinking.
And then, this was like laziness.
It was deliberate.
And then, Leslie, what do you think about him throwing the glass?
Now, you can tell right away when he didn't want to make the drink. He's not a professional. He's not in it for the pride of the job, no craft. He just did it to do the volume.
All right, Leslie, thanks for the call. I appreciate you listening and phoning in. Mark, hey, Andrew, just a couple of calls on this one because we got to move on. We got a lot of stuff here today. It's a jammed up Thursday. Mark in Town and Country. Hi, Mark.
Hey, MJ, how's it going?
Going
You're
well.
Not a jackwagon, not at all, man.
Say that again. I stepped on you a little bit. I want that to be loud and clear.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said you are not a jackwagon, not one bit.
That's like Maury Povich. You are not the father. I am not a jackwagon. All right, go ahead.
Last guy had it right. You use sugar or simple, muddled fruit, usually a cherry and an orange. You go for the high-end Luxardo cherries like you mentioned.
Yep.
Then I add my bourbon, then I add my rocks. I stir it, and I usually just give it a splash of club soda on top.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't forget the bitters.
Yeah, you got to have listen, when I make an old-fashioned at home, I do it with rye. And I like an old-fashioned with rye. We have the big ice cubes that I make in the freezer at home. Yep. I've got the Luxardo cherries or the other competitor that comes in the white and blue ceramic jar. I make it right. I mean, I use two different bitters. I actually use a blend of Angostura and Regan's bitters,
Right on, man. You're a crafty bartender, MJ. You know what you're doing.
Thank you. Exactly. So I am not a jackwagon.
Now, Mark.
Not at all.
Mark. You're a bartender right now. You're an active bartender?
No, I manage Colony Grill in St. Pete, actually.
Look.
Okay.
Years.
Yeah, Colony Grill, home of the famous Stamford, Connecticut bar pie.
Yeah, an
You
old-fashioned...
are the man. You're correct. Yeah, and we have our big Heroes run coming up, the Heroes 5K in St. Pete this weekend.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. We had one of the owners in last week on Friday to talk about it, or maybe it was Thursday. It was last week.
It was Friday.
And it was a Friday. So there's, again, they're doing the Heroes Hot Oil Run to benefit St. Pete Police Fire and Rescue. And it's a 5K, a 10K, and a 1K walk. And then at 11:30 after the races, it's free beer and pizza at the Colony Grill in downtown St. Pete. Hey, Andrew,
right.
Andrew, you still have the link to sign up for the race on our website, right? Yeah, folks, if you want to sign up for the 5K or the 10K in downtown St. Pete, you can go to mjmorningshow.com and go to As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. So mjmorningshow.com, then go to As Heard on the MJ Morning Show, and then the link is there to sign up for the run. Mark, thanks for the call, buddy.
Thanks for the plug, MJ. Have a great day.
You bet. Listen, it's for St. Pete Fire and Rescue, for charity. So sign up for the Colony Grill, the first first ever hot oil run. One more call on this, and I got to move on. Lisa in St. Pete. Lisa, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ. First-time caller. How are you?
We are doing fine in here. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Listen, I'm not a bartender, but I do like to drink. I'm not an alcoholic, of course. Just want to point that out.
That's what they all say.
I do love to make drinks, and I've made an old-fashioned plenty of times. It sounds to me like that bartender was just lazy, and he just wanted to make whatever just to get you out of the bar, just so he could make his money, basically.
I think you're 100% right, and it didn't end well. This was just a lazy bartender. There was no reason for him to try to shortcut this thing, and it turned into an altercation. He throws the drink, breaks a glass. I mean, they should fire the guy. You know what? I just walked away. I didn't go to the front desk and complain and ask for the hotel manager. I just walked away, and then I walk up to the room, and Michelle's like, "Where's my old fashioned?" And I'm like, "Oh."
Well, you know what it is most people won't complain. Most people will just take it and pay for it and drink it.
That's right.
I'm not going to do that. I watched the guy butcher and half-ass, lazy-ass this drink, and I'm not paying for that. It's a $16 drink. It's a 16. I mean, give me a freaking break. So
exactly. Especially when you're paying for it. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it either.
Lisa, thanks for the call. I appreciate you checking in. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome.
All
and
right.
you guys have a good day.
Thank you, Lisa.
You too.
You think the bartender was on something?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Did he? Because that erratic behavior at the end. I mean,
He was irrational, erratic. I mean, what a stupid response. So I walk up to the room, and Michelle's like, "Where's my old fashioned?" And I got to tell Michelle what happened, and she starts humming a song. You know what song she starts humming? Whoop, boom.
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay, Larry David."
You're getting into a fight over what's an old fashioned. You believe you're right.
It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm or something.